What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We just went over the deep dive trailer yesterday, and today I want to focus on more of the blog. And honestly, the blog felt like it gave me more information than what we saw out of that 5-minute trailer. And I just wanted to highlight some things, go through, and kind of get your guys' thoughts on everything. But more importantly, I felt like they answered some of the questions that I did not get out of the trailer, and we'll get into that as we go. But the biggest thing they're focusing on is this goalie crease control system, which I have high hopes for. Mostly for the fact that, like they said, they have the 80 different save animations that are on there. The save animations could be good, could be bad. I'm hoping it doesn't mean that we're going to see goalies now start doing these crazy acrobatic saves off of regular shots. I felt like maybe it was butterfly effect or post to post really started doing that to me when we got higher level with Marc-Andre Fleury. I love that 99, but I'll never use it because when I had butterfly effect on, he tried to do these crazy save animations. Positional awareness and save logic. I'm actually excited for this one. Like you saw in the video yesterday where they would get kind of stuck on this island in NHL 25 if they got either, a crazy shot that they couldn't get to and it keeps them, off balance. They would just almost stay hovered in an island, and all they could do was turn into a wacky inflatable tube man trying to make the save, but their butt was just glued to the ice. They could not move left. They could not move right. I'm hoping this really changes that. So if there is a far side shot and there's a rebound opportunity, instead of turning into a wacky inflatable two-man, he actually kicks over and tries to make the save. Now, regardless of if he gets it or not, it's more realistic to what we'll see. I'm really hoping that's what that means. Real-time responsiveness. This one's huge for me. I really like what they say here. If a puck changes direction or rebound lands in front, they no longer have to finish the original save before reacting. That is extremely notorious, right? There's a wrist shot going on. It gets redeflected because it hit off of your guy, not the guy that's trying to tip it in. But your goalie still holds up that wrister for the glove coming in, but it just trickles right by him, and maybe he's even standing up. Or there's a shot out front and it doesn't reach the goalie, but he has to complete that save animation, and there's like just a heap of people out in front, and then it's put right back in because he never finishes this. I hope that's what changes this one. And then the other one is a smarter AI based on goalie type. So this is something I'm very excited for. We have only used the 6'4" goalies all year, and I don't know how many years back it's gone now. But guys like UC Saros, I love the fact that they name drop it, but somebody that isn't that big. Maybe they'll actually start, that real-to-life save animation. Now we might start using smaller goaltenders. I'm going to hold my breath, but you never know. It would be cool to start, not having to rely on only a goaltender that is your Darcy Kempers, Markstroms, Hellebucks. And it lets you actually play the entirety of the field for all the goaltenders instead. Emotion in the crease. I don't have too much to say in this. I guess we'll take a peek at what it is, like what they're meaning. But like when they make a diving save, it just says that maybe there's more emotion involved into it. Haven't really seen that myself, but yeah, we'll take a look. Reworked XFactors. I'm actually kind of pumped for this because I'm hoping that this is kind of saying, hey, there's going to be no longer X-Factor cards like your McDavid's, Tricidals, Captain's X-Factors, Supercharge X-Factors, and it just converts to these abilities. 28 abilities scattered across 5 categories with 3 different tiers: Specialist, All-Star, and Elite. And I alluded to this yesterday, but once again, the farther up you go, think of it like your ability points. This may only cost you 1 ability point, All-Star may cost you 2, and Elite may cost you 3. That's how I'm going to view it, but it's still going to be categorized as a X Factor. I'm thinking of this as 28 abilities instead of the word X Factor. That's how I'm viewing it. But it's going to give these players their identity, especially if you're playing something other than Hut. You're going to start seeing some with Tendencies. Draisaitl for the 1Ts. Ovechkin with the 1Ts. Probably Wheels or Elite Edges with Connor McDavid. Elite Edges with Lane Hudson. That's what I'm hoping we start seeing out of this is some of the players that we're actually starting to get, we start to see these X factors to their tendencies. Because you're going to think, when I say Connor McDavid, elite something, compared to maybe somebody that's a first year and it's specialist something. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm taking this, is it's going to be kind of like the reworked, tiered ability points. There, boom. Exactly. Some examples. So like the Rocket X Factor, power up slap shot. So to me, that reminds me of like Thunderclap, essentially. The only thing that has me worried on this one is it could stun goalies. So I hope it doesn't turn into everybody just throws Rocket on so they can stun the goalie and have a chance to do it. A successful deke can increase panic turns on opposing defenders. Interesting. And it's not passive now. I kind of like that. Next piece is going to be the Ice Q 2.0. We got it introduced to us last year. 2.0 is just stating like what it's actually tracking. 14, I think it's 14 infrared cameras. And you're going to see these different things: skating, acceleration, shot location, heat maps, puck possession, body orientation, all that different stuff. Mostly that you're going to see is attributes, tendencies, and different presentation. So hopefully now these players start getting more true identity. The most notable one for me that I think of is probably Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel might be a 96 still in Hut, but his shot is so smooth. Kucherov's shot, I don't know what it is, but it always goes in. That's what I kind of think of when I'm looking at this. This is talking about the attributes. So Connor McDavid, first few stride feel like a true burst. Austin Matthews' shot's more smooth. Cale Makar doesn't take these gigantic hits because he has that level of elusiveness. You're going to feel the power forward compared to the finesse of like that playmaker. And then you're going to build your team based off of that. I feel like you kind of already feel and see that. Maybe it's just gonna be a little bit more in depth this time. Tendencies, I think the video did a really bad job on the tendencies, because if you remember, it was just a standard poke check, a standard forecheck, a regular shot, a deke that was a 5-hole shot. Like, it wasn't anything crazy, but we'll see if this actually comes to fruition, I guess. The presentation, I think, is going to be pretty unique. It's just added like, hey, where's your hot spots, especially against maybe certain goalies. We're going to see that. Your face-off percentages and stuff like that. I think when it comes for like franchise or be a pro, I think that's going to be really interesting. And I want to say we have our be a pro trailer here in 2 days. I think it's on the 19th. Don't quote me on it. But the Be a Pro trailer, I'm extremely excited for, because I'm not a Be a Pro player, but this year I might dabble in that just because, like, Hut got really stale for a certain amount of time, and it'd be nice to jump into something else to kind of take the pressure off, essentially. Oh, there we go. Perfect timing. Community feedback, vision control, LT. No more LT spammers. That is awesome. In many cases, this has become way too dominant to carry the puck, and the transition even was most appropriate choice. And NHL 26, they've added a penalty to consecutive pivot overrides in those situations. So the LT spammers are going to be gone, essentially. That's good. Hip check tuning. Hip checks have also been adjusted based on how they're being used, particularly in forechecking scenarios. So essentially what this is saying to me is, if I have Alex DeBrincat, he ain't going to be able to hip check Chara from just both players just being at a standstill, essentially. Because if you remember right, anybody that uses a hip check, it immediately knocks them to the ice and immediately has them lose the puck, even if there's no momentum whatsoever, or it's a smaller guy hitting a bigger guy. Same thing with reverse hitting, it looks like, too. So I'm really excited for that, because you can't have Alex DeBrincat reverse hit for Chara consistently and just knock him to the ground and keep moving as if nothing ever happened. Cool. Skills. Okay, so this is just stating that you can now pull it off laterally, going backwards, or laterally, whereas typically it's just forward, so that's good. There's also fake shot animation. I like that. Fake shot, that's actually good. I'm liking that. I'm liking that they're at least addressing some of this stuff. We'll see how it is. There's still two things I was hoping to see on there is D-to-D one-timers. If there's a guy that's covering the net front presence, I'm hoping that we don't see it. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm really hoping we don't see D-to-D if there's nobody in front of the net. The goaltender just can't make the save, and it's automatically going in. At the same time, I'm really hoping that we, at some point in time, get defensive icon changes. I can't tell you how many times there will be a group of my defenders, and I pick the wrong one 2 or 3 times before I actually get the defender I needed, and by then we're probably giving up a goal. So I'm hoping that some of the stuff we do see changed moving forward, but we'll see. And then it's just final thoughts. I mean, I'll leave it to you guys. What are your guys' final thoughts on this? Do you feel like some of the stuff's being addressed? You're not going to hold your breath? Do you see this every single year? Like, leave your comments down below. If you guys like what you saw, give it a thumbs up button. Subscribe. Thank you so much, as we are getting closer and closer to 500 100 subscribers, which we're trying to hit here before NHL 26. And yeah, happy Sunday Fun Day. And depending on where you're at in the world, happy Monday. Take care, guys.